They'll set up a throw. Got a man, it's right. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. In on the tackle, Alex Okafor.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
To throw now on first down. Flush to his right. This one complete to Devin Funchess. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A gain of 32 that time.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Sheldon Rankins able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Detroit! Detroit!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. The Panthers on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. Now they try the right side here. He will push his way down to about the 14. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the 4th down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
And Godot's kick is right through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
To throw, it's Breeze. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On second down, Kamara. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that's going to make it third down and 10.
Well, it looks like they caught him off guard on second and very long by running the football. All right, we always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the grain, and that worked very well for them. Picked up really nice yardage, but they still have a lot of work to do on third down.
To throw is Breeze. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. That'll put him at 95 receiving yards now as he's got a first down. All the yards, completions, just another play that's a feather in the cap of the great career of Drew Brees.
And wasn't he supposed to be too small to be an effective quarterback in the NFL?
Yeah, how'd that work out?
Yeah, well, his footwork, I think, really sets him apart. Remember, he was a junior tennis champion, beat Andy Roddick, the future U.S. Open champion, back when they were in the juniors. I think that footwork really helps him be the great quarterback he is now.
They go play action here on first down. Over the middle, that's caught by Merriman. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That one goes for 36 yards.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
After the incompletion, here's second and 10 from the 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
21.
From the gun, it's Breeze. And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And Lutz's kick is good. And their lead will swell up to 28. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 30. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And
he's got it. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. 4 touchdown passes now for Drew Brees. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Lutz will look to add the extra point. Lutz with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. Uses the spin. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And the Panthers coming out now. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to spin their ears back and get after him now.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. Alex Okafor in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. The Panthers on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to throw here. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the offense will cover this one up, but they'll be pushed back inside their own 10. Back now here live in New Orleans. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. .46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. That'll bring up 3rd and 8.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Saints on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
We're waiting. 21.
Now this time, Breeze will throw. Trying to lay one up deep. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Captain Mutterland. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is
Green,
over.
39. Green, 39. Gone.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Partner, we read a great article this week arguing for him to be Defensive Player of the Year. Normally, sacks are the big thing that people point to, but what he's done in the secondary has been something special.
It has been because it's been an all-around game for him, taking the ball away, rushing the quarterback and sacking him himself, doing a number of different things that change the way the game is played.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Quick slant, caught by Moore. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
The offense on third down tonight, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches. They're going to look to throw, eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And they're going to get the first down here across the 15-yard line. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Cameron Jordan in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The Panthers on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and forever. He'll drop to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Throw left side, taken in by Meredith. And down inside the 15 he goes. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Now a play fake here on first down. Now he's flushed out left. Now Brady's lost the football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
All right, now look at 56.
This is McCaffrey on the give. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Big Sheldon Rankins there to bring him down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
He'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And this is going to be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
Here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
He'll look to throw. And now here's another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Breeze now to throw. He's going to. This is caught at the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one goes for 36 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Into the red zone, it's Breeze. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
That's complete, right around the 8. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's a 1st down, and that catch also puts him at 150 yards receiving now for the game. Breeze going to throw. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Dontari Poe in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Time for a break. This one all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. He'll get it up the middle. Spins by, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the 1st, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, 2nd half, no quit in him.
0.
And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their 1st. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs?
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. They'll set up a throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A gain of 39 that time. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey, and he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for New Orleans, it's a 10th win of the year now as they move to 10-4. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Minnesota Vikings come to town. Meanwhile, for Carolina, their playoff hopes take a hit as they drop to 7-7. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Atlanta Falcons come to town. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.